Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Welcome to my outside video. This is in my backyard. This is on my back deck. So I thought that I'd just do something a little bit different. It's pretty hot out here, I'll be honest with you. So I'm under an umbrella, but as you can see, the sun is still shining behind me. So I'm getting a little bit of sun, so that's why if you see me squint like that, that's why, okay? I decided to do this one outside because this is going to be my Hank the Cowdog video. This is going to be the first chapter of me reading Hank the Cowdog. This particular story is a 4.5. It is a chapter book. It is worth 3 whole points. So it will take me probably at least 2 weeks with me reading like a chapter a day. I might be able to squeeze in and try to get it done in 2 weeks. So I'll just have to see exactly how long it takes for me to read a chapter, and then how long those take to upload and all that kind of stuff. So the first one is the original Adventures of Hank the Cowdog. And like I said, I thought it would be a good idea to kind of do this one outside. As you can see, I've got my Hank the Cowdog t-shirt on. I'm in my rocking chair. This is where I bring McKinley outside and rock her sometimes. She loves to come out here and sit on the deck and look around and watch the butterflies and watch the birds and listen to the birds. And if you'll look, like, where is it? I just had it a few minutes ago. Oh, there it is. Right there over my shoulder. See where I'm pointing my finger? Like right above my finger. I just put a hummingbird feeder out there. And I have hummingbird feeders up around my deck. We just have started seeing them come, and so I moved one out of my I moved one of my feeders out to a little pear tree that's out there in the yard, so maybe they can attract them and they'll get up here to my deck. So this is our place that we like to enjoy eating out. We come out here and have a lot of meals outside. My husband cooks. We have a little sink area. He has a couple of different grills that he loves to use, and I like to come out here and sit in the sun sometimes just to get some vitamin D. And we just, especially at nighttime, we'll come out here and sit around in the chairs and visit. So this is kind of our go-to place with my family, and we enjoy coming outside and being out here on this deck. So I thought it would be kind of a nice change of scenery, and since the setting of Hank the Cowdog books are on the ranch, and those are outdoor settings, or most of them are near a ranch, or let me say that, that, you know, would be kind of fitting to do something outdoors. So I'm going to get started. I've already taken 3 minutes talking to you, so I'm going to hush so that I can get started on the book. There's only one picture per chapter, and they are black and white. When I show you the book, you can see the book is very much been used, okay? And it's been checked out a lot, probably a lot of those times by my students or myself. I went to the library yesterday evening and I picked it up, and I can't find my book 2, but I'm looking. I have a whole set of these myself. Miss Betty Suzant, who was the media specialist before me, when she was discarding a lot of Hank books, when she would get rid of them, she'd send them my way. So I have a small collection of my own, and I appreciate Ms. Zant for sharing those with me, and she knows how much I love Hank the Cowdog. All right, so here's the cover, and if you can see, poor Hank, his muzzle, his nose, and part of his ear, they're kind of been ripped off, but it says Hank, and the reason that Hank's picture like that is kind of like his profile picture, okay? It says Hank the Cowdog. It's in a sheriff's badge. It's because Hank thinks he's kind of like a sheriff, okay? And he calls himself the head of ranch security, and you'll find out about the ranch, and the ranch is where he lives, and he, like I said, he's this brown dog right here, okay? It really never tells me exactly what breed of dog Hank is, but he just kind of looks like a, you know, good old brown. He's not a lab, but maybe a little bit of lab in there. He has kind of the build of a lab, but his face and his ears and everything don't look like a lab. So, if you'll also, he is his sidekick, his name is Drover. Drover is white. Hank calls him little mutt, and he's a little bit shorter, a little bit smaller than Hank. He actually is he's just a mess, okay? Drover is funny, and he is, like I said, Hank's sidekick, kind of like his partner in crime. However, he gets scared very easily. He's very, very spooky about things, and when Hank gets him to try to do something, Drover usually goes and hides, as you will find out with me reading the books, okay? Like I said, they live on the ranch. The owner of the ranch is Loper, and his wife's name is Sally Mae. They have a little boy. His name is Little Alfred. Some of the books have Little Alfred in them. So, but this one is the very first one. It's called The Original Adventures of Hank the Cowdog, and this is book number 1. I mentioned to you that it's a 4.5. It is worth 3 whole points, and the quiz number is 5222. 5222. And I'm going to get started. And as I said, there's no pictures, so I'm just going to kind of kick back and I'm going to read, and I want you to just follow along, and I want you to visualize and imagine in your head. I will try to help describe things if I think maybe you don't understand something, so I will help you with that. I try to do different voices for these characters, and I will take one day where I show you some more some close-up pictures of some of the characters. I don't have a printer hooked up to my laptop here, so I have some pictures, and they are at school, so I will try to get those and bring those and share those with you, okay? So there's several characters that you're going to be introduced to in this first book, and then those characters actually are throughout some of the other books in the series, okay? All right, chapter 1, Bloody Murder. Are you kidding me? Here we go. It's me again, Hank the Cowdog. I just got some terrible news. There's been a murder on the ranch. I know I shouldn't blame myself. I mean, a dog is only a dog. He can't be everywhere at once. When I took this job as head of ranch security, I knew that I was only flesh and blood, 4 legs and a tail and a couple of ears, a pretty nice kind of nose that the women really go for, 2 bushels of hair and another half bushel of Mexican sandburrs. You add all that up, and you don't get Superman. Just me, good old easy-going Hank, who works hard, tries to do his job, and gets very little cooperation from anyone else around here. I'm not complaining. I knew this wouldn't be an easy job. It took a special kind of dog, strong, fearless, dedicated, and above all, smart. Obviously, Drover didn't fit. The job fell on my shoulders. It was my destiny. I couldn't escape the broom of history that swept through. Well, anyway, I took the job. Head of ranch security. Gee, I was proud of that title. Just the sound of it made my tail wag. But now this, a murder? Right under my nose. I know I shouldn't blame myself, but I do. I got the report this morning around dawn. I'd been up most of the night patrolling the northern perimeter of ranch headquarters. I'd heard some coyotes yapping up there, and I went up to check it out. Told Drover where I was going, and he came up lame all of a sudden. Said he needed to rest his right front leg. He's always doing that. Drover's always doing that, about complaining about his leg. So I went along. Didn't find anything. The coyotes stayed out in the pasture. I figured there were 2, well maybe 3 of them. They yapped for a couple of hours, making fun of me, calling me ugly names, daring me to come out and fight. Well, you know me. I'm no dummy. There's a thin line between heroism and stupidity, and I try to stay on the south side of it. I didn't go out and fight, but I answered them. Bark for bark, yap for yap, name for name. The coyote hasn't been built who can out-yap Hank the Cowdog. A little before dawn, Loper, one of the cowboys on this outfit, stuck his head out of the door and yellered, "Shut up there yapping, you idiot!" I guess he thought there was only one coyote out there. They kept it up, and I gave it back to him. Next time Loper came to the door, he was armed. He fired a gun into the air, squalled something about how a man couldn't sleep around here with all the dang noise. I agreed. So remember now, Loper, he is the owner of the ranch, okay? And he's out here fussing at Hank for doing all this barking, but Hank is barking at who? He's hearing coyotes out in the distance, so he's barking at them. Would you believe it? Them coyotes yipped louder than ever, and I had no choice but to give it back to them. Loper came back out on the porch and fired another shot. This one came so close to me that I heard the hum. Loper must have lost his bearings or something, so I barked louder than ever, telling my position, and to let him know that I was out there protecting the ranch and everything. The next bullet just near darn got me. I mean, I felt the wind of it as it went past. That was enough for me. I shut her down for the night. If Loper couldn't aim any better than that, he was liable to hurt somebody. So I laid low for a while, hiding in the shelter belt until I was sure the artillery had gone back to bed. Then I went down for a roll in the sewer, cleaned up, washed myself real good, came out feeling refreshed and ready to catch up on my sleep. I trotted down to the gas tanks and I found Drover curled up in my favorite spot. Now, when Hank says that he goes down to the sewer, he goes into the sewer and it's kind of like a green, he calls it the Emerald Pond, and that's where he takes baths. Well, if you know what the sewer is, that's where all the yucky stuff that comes out of the water system goes and is like in a little holding pond. So Hank, though, likes the sewer, and he thinks that's where he gets to take a bath. So then he gets finished with that. He goes up to the gas tanks and he finds Drover. I growled at him off of my gunny sack. "Beat it, son. Make way for the night patrol." He didn't want to move, so I went to sterner measures. I put some fangs on him. That moved him out, and he didn't show no signs of lameness either. I have an idea that where Drover is lamest, between the ears. So I did my usual bedtime ritual of walking in a tight circle around my bed until I found just exactly the spot that I wanted. And then I flopped down. Oh, that felt so good. I wiggled around, finally came to rest with all four paws sticking up in the air. I closed my eyes, and I had some wonderful twitching dreams about, well, I don't recall exactly the subject matter, but most likely they were about Beulah, the neighbor's collie. I dream about her a lot. What a woman, what a woman! She makes my old heart pound just to think about her. Beautiful brown and white hair, big eyes, a nose that tapers down to a point. Well, it's not quite as good as mine, but so what? She has nice ears that flaps when she runs. The only trouble is that she's crazy about a spotted bird dog. Without a doubt, the ugliest, dumbest, worthlessest cur I ever met. What could be uglier than a spotted, short-haired dog with a long, skinny tail? And what could be dumber or more worthless than a dog that goes around chasing birds? They call him Plato. I don't know why, except maybe because his eyes look like plates half the time. Empty plates. He don't know a cow from a sow. But do you think that makes him humble? No, sir. He thinks that bird chasing is hot stuff. What really hurts, though, is that Beulah seems to agree. I don't understand that woman, but I sure dream about her a lot. Anyway, where was I? Okay, we're back under the gas tanks, catching up on my sleep, and all at once, Drover was right there beside me, jumping up and down and giving off that high-pitched squeal of his that kind of bores into your eardrums. You can't ignore when he does that. Well, I throwed up one eye open. I kept the other one shut so that I could get some halfway sleep. "Will you please shut up?" "Hank, oh, Hanky, oh, Honky, it's just terrible, it's just terrible. You wouldn't believe it, you wouldn't believe it. Hurry, hurry, wake up. I've seen his tracks down on the creek. Get up before he escapes." I throwed the other eye open, pushed myself up, went nose to nose with that little noisemaker. "Quit hopping around. Quit making all that racket. Hold still and state your business." "Okay, Hank. All right. I'll try." He tried. He wasn't too successful, but he did get the message across. Oh, Hank. There's been a killing right here on this ranch, and we slept right through it." "Huh?" I was come away by then, and the word killing sent a jolt clean out to the end of my tail. "Who's been killed?" They hit the chicken house, Hank. I don't know how they got in, but they did. They busted in there and killed one of those big leghorn hens. Killed her dead, dead. Hank, and oh, the blood, oh, the blood. Well, that settled it. I had no choice but to go back on duty. A lot of dogs would have just turned over and gone back to sleep, but I take this stuff pretty serious. We trotted up to the chicken house, and Drover kept jumping up and down and talking. I found some tracks down by the creek. I'm sure they belong to the killer, Hank. I'm just sure they do. What kind of tracks? Coyote. We reached the chicken house. Sure enough, there was the hen lying on the ground, and she was still dead. I walked around the body, sniffing it good, checking the signs. I noticed the position of the body, and I memorized every detail. The hen was lying on her left side, pointing toward the northeast, with one foot out and the other one curled up under her wing. Her mouth was open, and it appeared to me that she had lost some tail feathers. Uh-oh. I'm beginning to see the pattern. What? Tell me, Hank, who done it? Not yet. Where'd you see them tracks? There weren't any tracks around the corpse. The ground was too hard. Drover took off on a run. I followed him down into the brush along the creek. He stopped and pointed to some fresh tracks in the mud. There they are, Hank, just where I found them. Are you proud of me? I pushed him aside, and I studied the sign. Looked it over real careful, sniffed it, gave it the full treatment. Then I raised up. Okay, I got it now. It's all clear. Them's coon tracks, son, not coyote. I can tell from the scent. Coons must have attacked while I was out on patrol. They're sneaky. You gotta watch them every minute. Drover squinted at the tracks. You sure those are coon tracks? Sure look like coyote to me. You don't go by the look, son. You go by the smell. And this nose of mine don't lie. If it says coon, you better believe there's a coon at the end of them tracks. And I'm a-fixing to clean house on him. Stay behind me. Don't get hurt. So I threaded my way through the creek, willows, over the sand, through the water. I never lost the scent. In the heat of a chase, all my senses come alive and point like a blazing arrow toward the enemy. In a way, I felt sorry for that coon, even though he had committed a crime and he'd become my mortal enemy. With me on his tail, the little guy just didn't have a chance. One of the disadvantages of being as big and deadly as I am is that you sometimes find yourself in sympathy with the other guy. But being head of ranch security is learning to ignore that kind of emotion. I mean, to hold down this job, you have to be cold and hard. The scent was getting stronger all the time. It didn't smell exactly like any coon I'd come across before. All at once I saw him. I stopped dead still, and Drover, the little dummy, ran right into me, almost had a heart attack. I guess he thought I was a giant coon or something. It's always hard to know what he thinks. The coon was hiding in some bushes about 5 feet in front of me. I could hear him chewing on something, and that smell was real strong now. What's that? Drover whispered, sniffing the air. Coon, what you think? I glanced back at him. He was shaking. You ready for some combat experience? Yes, he squeaked. All right, here's the plan. I'll jump him. You try to get him behind the neck. You come in the second wave and take what you can. If you run away like you did last time, I'll sweep the crowd with you and give you a whooping you won't forget. All right, let's move out. I crouched down, crept forward, every muscle in my highly conditioned body taut and ready for action. 5 feet, 4 feet, 3 feet, 2. I sprang through the air, and I hit right in the middle of the biggest porcupine I ever saw. And that's the end of chapter 1. So, what's about to happen to Hank? He's about to land on that porcupine, and you know what happens when you land on a porcupine. It's not going to be pretty. So, tomorrow's chapter is called Quills, just part of the job. Okay? I hope that you enjoyed chapter 1 of the original adventures of Hank the Cowdog, and I hope you will join us every day to hear a new chapter. That one was like probably about 12-13 minutes long. So the video today is like close to 20 minutes, and I kind of want to keep them at least around that time. So, I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.